of us to do our prayer. It was determined at that time that I had lung cancer, stage 2 non-small lung cancer, non-small cell carcinoma. And if you've ever heard that said to you, you understand that before your eyes flashes your life. And as a woman of God, one of the things I kept saying was, God, but I'm on the mission field doing your work. I'm on the mission field doing your work. I'm on the mission field preaching. I'm on the mission field. I'm serving. God, doing everything that I know how to do. Why would this happen to me? And I did not understand that later on it would be because God was going to take me through the process. And then he was going to open up the door for me at American Cancer Society. And he was going to allow me to oversee the recruitment of the Westchester jurisdiction as well as the Bronx. And then he was going to open yet another door and make me the director of missions in Queens and in Long Island. When I tell you that we serve an amazing God, we never know why we have to go through what we go through, but it's absolutely for a purpose. And so, men and women of God, I want to talk to you today about taking care of yourselves and educating you on the importance of making sure that your diet and that your exercise is what it needs to be. I want to also say to you that if you have any type of cancer in your family history, it is very, very important for you to go get tested on an annual basis. I also want to do away with the myth that breast cancer is a woman's disease. Breast cancer affects men as well. In fact, breast cancer amongst men is on the rise. Last year, statistics stated that 1% of men on an annual basis was diagnosed with breast cancer. We have found that that has increased to 3%. So we're finding that no longer is it just something that we can keep to ourselves, but I believe that the church has to be instrumental in going out into the community and making sure that we ourselves, Latin Americans, African Americans, that we in our communities are sharing the importance of the resources that are available within our particular boroughs. The American Cancer Society on October 18th will have our major walk, and it'll be taking place in over 300 cities. And on that day, we will be celebrating breast cancer. We'll be honoring those who are surviving. We will honor those who we've lost. And we will also come together and raise over $60 million for the fight against breast cancer. And so today, I simply want to honor you and say thank you so much to Overseer Hezekiah Walker and to you, the family, the church family, for simply really making sure that you are a part of this. Thank you. Applaud yourselves for that. Thank you so much for caring enough about the community to be involved. You'll be amazed. I oversee the recruiters in the Bronx, and what I found is that when they reach out into churches, they are the most nastiest people we encounter. It's sad, broke my heart. Places that I've even ministered at, that all they heard was Nitisha Moore. They didn't hear Elder Nitisha Moore. They just simply heard, oh, this is Nitisha Moore from the American Cancer Society, and immediately they had a standoffish attitude. And so what I want you to know today as God's people is the importance of the services that are available. Through the American Cancer Society, not only do we need you to help us raise funds, but we also need you to educate your community. We also need you to volunteer. We need you to be a part of making sure that not another one of our young ladies will be lost to breast cancer. Not another one of our young men will be lost to cancer, period. And so here's the thing that's important. Another piece of statistical information that I want to leave with you, and that is that we're finding also that it's taking place earlier amongst our young ladies. We're finding that we have about 300 young women that come to us for help between the ages of 14. It was 16. It is now 14 through 21 that are actually coming to us because they have been recently diagnosed with breast cancer. That says to me that we have got to be careful of this chicken we eating. Amen. We've got to be careful. We've got to be careful with what we're taking into our bodies. Making sure that we are being mindful of what it is we're taking into our bodies. Listen, we can't fulfill purpose and destiny, right, with our bodies all in disarray. We've got to make sure that we take care of ourselves. And I'm going to take my seat, but the last thing that I simply want to say to you is also that there is a test that you can do, the BRCA1. I know my sister was very emphatic about me sharing that information. The BRCA1 gene. This is a test that can really determine your chances of being diagnosed with ovarian cancer and breast cancer. So here's how this works. You can go to your physician. Now, they will not just simply offer it to you. And that's a whole nother story. Listen, when you have pain and things going on in your body, document what it is that you're feeling so that when you go to your doctor, that your doctor will know that you care so that he can care. Because if you don't know what's going on with your body, you will walk into the doctor's office and y'all know how they do. They'll take your vital signs, listen to your lungs, and say, all right, you good to go. Here's a pack of vitamins. You have got to be emphatic about your body and really take care of it and make sure that you ask them. The BRCA1 gene is a gene and it's a test that you can determine whether or not you have chances. But they only will give that test to someone who has history of cancer in their family. This test has been proven to help actually save the lives of millions of people. Because what happens is it actually increases. It's determined that over 12% of women will be diagnosed from the general population. But when you identify that you actually have the gene and you begin to do things, do treatments or prophylactically take some advanced measures, well then it now saves your life and then it decreases the rate of fatalities that exist in our community. The last thing I want to say is that information is power. Information is power. How many of you are going to promise that you're going to take a piece of literature that we have upstairs and that you are going to take it back to someone in your neighborhood, someone in your building, so that you can share the information? Can I see the hands of everyone who will take the information? Thank you so much. It's just simply that easy. You can save lives by simply sharing information. The American Cancer Society has a 1-800 number that you can call for any questions that you may have or anything. Someone needs health insurance and they need to know where the programs are in order to find out whether or not the tests are available to them and to get their mammograms. Ladies, if you are over 40, get your mammogram. If you have cancer in your family, get your mammogram on an annual basis. Let your doctor know, I want my mammogram because of the fact that there's cancer that exists in my family, so I want to have my mammograms. So make sure that you're keeping up with yourself, make sure that you're being diligent, and then make sure that you participate. Resources are available in the communities where the people are united and they care. Let me say that one more time. Resources, free resources are available in the community things. In Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Staten Island, in Queens, if you open up your mouth, if you rally together your friends, your co-workers, and you begin to say, we care about the issue of cancer, and begin to make noise, then you will find that resources when your loved one, because we all know somebody that has been diagnosed, but connected in one way or the other, you will then find that the resources that are necessary for you are available. So do your part. Don't just let today be a day where we come and we celebrate our survivor, but then we walk outside and then we forget all about it and we don't share the information. Amen? God bless you.